China didn't build a road. They built leverage. You're watching it unfold, a shimmering ribbon of steel and concrete, bridges, ports, high-speed rails, spanning continents, and behind it, a number so vast it nearly stops the breath, $450 billion. Here is the truth no one is talking about. The giant engine of global change that China built, the one you were not meant to see, lights, steel, concrete. Gear shifts in economies. A silent takeover. What if the map you trust is not the map they want you to see? Cut through the noise. Here is what you were not told. China's Belt and Road Initiative, what some call the project of the century, wears two faces. Over $450 billion has been committed to megaprojects, hydropower plants, highways, cityscapes carved from nothing. Map highlights flash across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. But what you did not see is how deep the wiring goes. The corridors, they are not just roads, they are veins, supply chains, surveillance systems, telecom grids, all pulsing under one command. What they built was not just trade routes, it is global leverage on tap. So what are they not telling you? This is one of dozens like it, deep inland, far from headlines. But here, China's blueprint comes to life. Storage yards, docking terminals, raw logs, container lanes, compactor machines, the skeleton of a new world economy. Mei Li says, "We told them this port would be a hub." They asked, "A hub for who?" Mei is proud, ambitious. But she knows this is not just about the economy, it is control. Behind the gleam, debt-ridden contracts, Chinese state banks, and non-transparent terms. Local labor, used but overseen. Materials, Chinese. Supervision, Chinese. And when it's done, China holds the keys. This is the prototype. Infrastructure plus influence equals ownership. Build the road, own the region. This isn't a local story. It spans 4 continents. Africa, South Asia, Central Asia, Latin America. In Africa, Chinese firms lay down highways connecting remote mines to ports. In South Asia, rails pull lithium and copper from deep interior zones to cargo hubs on the coast. In Latin America, an economic artery swells, with over $450 billion in annual trade with China. But this is not just infrastructure aid. This is geopolitical capital. Strategic minerals? Secured. Military access? Possible. Financial entanglement? Deepening. The repayment? Often in yuan. The bank? Chinese. The leverage? Absolute. This is not just trade anymore. It is architecture for influence. Why does it matter? Because your phone, your car, your microchip may depend on these corridors. And once the wiring is in, the rules change. You thought this was about rails, ports, pipelines, but this is where it flips. The hidden truth is this: it is digital infrastructure too. China isn't just building bridges, they are embedding next-gen technology, telecom grids, AI surveillance systems, smart city sensors, and facial recognition hardware. In one gray corridor, facial scans are logged, not just for containers, but for people. Every gate, every feed, every footstep recorded, stored, and analyzed. The company behind it? A Chinese tech giant with ties to the state. It is not just metal, it is metadata. Control does not arrive in tanks anymore. It comes in algorithms. It is soft power, disguised as concrete. The paradox is this: what was sold as connectivity becomes compliance. And your assumption that this was just infrastructure aid is crumbling. Back to the gray corridor. Back to Mei Li. The bridge is nearly done. The steel gleams. But something's off. The promises? Jobs. Development. Opportunity. But something changed. Subcontractors replaced. Local firms sidelined. Profits repatriated. The debt ledger? Still unclear. Jorge says, "They promised the road. We got debt. We got no transparency. The trucks carry wealth to the coast, but the village gets dust. The youth? Gone. Hired elsewhere to staff Chinese-run hubs." And Mei, she wonders, did I build hope or a web of dependency? This is what they don't put in the brochures, because it is easy to talk in billions, harder to show a village with no future. When development forgets fairness, societies fracture. In the shadows of China's $450 billion megaproject lies a second blueprint, one not made of steel, but of silence. You will not find these deals in open databases. They are sealed, hidden, untouchable. Why? Because they are non-disclosure agreements between Chinese state-owned enterprises and foreign governments. Disputes are settled in Chinese courts. Collateral includes national infrastructure, ports, power grids, even airports. Default triggers asset seizures or 99-year leases. In Sri Lanka, a warning shot to the world. Debt default led to China acquiring Hambantota Port on a 99-year lease. Imagine a foreign power building your harbor and then owning it. These contracts are not aid, they are leverage. And once they are signed, you do not just lose money, you lose control. This isn't the BRI you saw in brochures. This is BRI 2.0, where every physical asset has a digital twin. Each smart port streams live data to command centers in China. Each rail hub is tracked by AI and optimized by machine learning. Smart cities, gifted by China, come pre-loaded with AI surveillance gear. Not just watching containers, watching you. In Greece and Pakistan, entire port systems stream logistics data to Chinese AI firms. The eye in the sky is China's Beidou satellite system, replacing GPS across BRI regions. Every container, every gate, every person, predictable. The BRI isn't a trade route, it is a data net. You are not the customer, you are the input. This is the digital Trojan horse of our time. The world bought roads. What China sold was visibility, because once the algorithm sees you, it can control you. But not everyone is silent. Across the globe, a backlash builds. In Malaysia, a $20 billion rail project is frozen. It was renegotiated under political fire. In the US, a counteroffensive emerges, the Build Back Better World initiative. The EU launches Global Gateway, a rival to fund transparent, sustainable infrastructure. But make no mistake, these are not just alternatives, they are battlegrounds. Because where infrastructure flows, alliances follow. Ports are not just trade hubs, they are future front lines. Rail lines are not just logistics, they are ideological pipelines. The $450 billion BRI is not a blueprint. It is a weapon of alignment. And the world is waking up. It promised opportunity. It brought disruption. Every corridor tells a story, but not all stories end in prosperity. In Laos, the railway transformed trade, but prices soared. Local farmers could not compete. They were priced out of their own economy. In Ethiopia, a Chinese-backed telecom monopoly wiped out local competition. Startups vanished. Innovation died. In Montenegro, a BRI mountain highway came with a $1 billion loan, but no traffic. Today, the repayments threaten to consume a quarter of the national budget. Yes, connectivity was achieved, but at what cost? Your future phone battery may trace its cobalt back through these corridors. Your car may be routed through a Chinese leased terminal. This is not abstract. This is the architecture beneath your economy. The question is no longer what's happening. It is who is profiting and who is paying the price. His name is Daniel Chen. He is a former logistics analyst for a Chinese state-owned firm, tasked with BRI port operations in Latin America. Now he is exiled in Canada, on the run. Daniel Chen says they were not just tracking cargo. They were tracking diplomats. Ports had side channels, data extraction layers, surveillance packets hidden in port traffic. Chen reveals a darker blueprint, one the world was not meant to see. Contracts bundled with intelligence access. Cameras doubling as listening devices. Docks that logged every arriving foreign official. Daniel Chen says the world thinks it is buying roads, but what they are selling is visibility, access, leverage. And Chen is not alone. There is a silent resistance building from inside the machine. Engineers, data scientists, diplomats, all saying the same thing. The next version of the BRI will not look like steel or stone. It will look like code. Now, we enter the next phase. This isn't infrastructure anymore. This is quantum logistics. In 2023, China launched the world's first quantum encrypted Belt and Road Initiative data corridor. A trade lane of the future. Untappable, untraceable, and fully sovereign. Western agencies? Locked out. No access to manifests. no interception of communications, no visibility. This is not just trade. This is a black zone of influence. Imagine trade routes that nobody can see, that no government can inspect, that carry more than goods, they carry silence. And now, Phase 2 begins. A second quantum corridor is being plotted, from Nairobi to Djibouti, linking Africa's digital future to China's invisible web. You thought the Belt and Road Initiative was built on concrete? No, it is built on control through encryption. The Belt and Road Initiative has gone orbital, because when you control the Earth's surface, the next step is the sky above it. China's Beidou system is now operational across nearly all Belt and Road Initiative nations, and it has replaced GPS in key regions. It does not just guide cargo ships, it tracks military fleets. In Ethiopia, agriculture drones respond to Beidou coordinates. In Pakistan, naval drills rely on Chinese signals. Navigation, targeting, timing. Outside US or NATO eyes. Own the infrastructure. Control the space above it. Dominate the narrative. Even weather satellites now redirect shipping lanes, optimize AI logistics, and monitor rival ports. This is not just the Belt and Road Initiative. This is space-based supremacy. The Belt and Road Initiative promises green development, but often it leaves gray scars. In Bangladesh, coal plants. In Cambodia, deforestation. In Ecuador, ancestral land swallowed by dams. Green corridors, only on paper. We fought. We lost. The land is gone. Global watchdogs have linked over 270 Belt and Road Initiative projects to environmental degradation. Because when the goal is speed, control, and repayment, climate gets sidelined. Eco-friendly is a tagline, not a timeline. As Brazil, Argentina, and Kenya sign on to green corridors, one question remains. Where is the independent oversight? Meet the United Front Work Department. China's most effective export isn't concrete, it's influence. They show up with smiles and suitcases. UFWD has seeded lobbying networks in 33 countries. They coach politicians, fund influencers, rewrite narratives. In some nations, China rewrites the curriculum. A leaked Australian cable called it the most effective foreign influence campaign ever built under the guise of development aid. So when a Belt and Road Initiative diplomat speaks of peaceful cooperation, ask yourself, who gave him the script? This time, the people resist. A coalition of farmers, engineers, and lawyers, armed not with weapons but with data. They expose backdoor deals, environmental violations, surveillance systems hidden in port contracts. In Bolivia, students decode the algorithm. In Sri Lanka, fishermen blockade tankers. In Kenya, resistance spreads from village to capital. This is countermapping, citizens using technology to reclaim their geography. A new era is rising, transparency versus empire. In Washington, they are watching, because every pipeline, every railway, every port becomes a potential red line. In Taiwan, in the South China Sea, in Africa's mineral corridors, tensions rise. Because the Belt and Road Initiative isn't just infrastructure, it's strategy. The US, Japan, and NATO are now funding counter corridors, parallel projects. This is no longer soft power. It's strategic entrenchment, clash of empires. Every corridor becomes a chessboard. Every rail line becomes a front line. She came to build the future, but now she wonders what they actually built. We connected the world, but lost our place in it. The trade hub buzzes with commerce, but the community around it is forgotten. In the blueprint, there were no villagers, only value. $450 billion, one vision, one superpower, one gamble. But now, the question isn't what did China build, it's what will you do with this knowledge? Tell us your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more.